Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna make some popsicles. Every day I have been eating Greek yogurt and berries for breakfast, so I thought as it gets hot out it would be fun to turn it into a sweet treat for dessert that everybody can enjoy. I have these fun little popsicle molds, but if you don't have those, that's okay. You can use a plastic cup with popsicle sticks or really whatever is hanging around your house that you can freeze and then take out a frozen popsicle. We're using Greek yogurt to make the popsicles, which is really healthy for you. So if you haven't had Greek yogurt, this is definitely a good way to jump in and get involved in the delicious Greek yogurt train. This is my first time making this recipe, so I'm excited that you're following along with me as we make fun popsicles. So what I like to do when I'm cooking is make sure everything's measured out beforehand. I want to make sure that I have everything organized before I jump in so I don't get forgetful and maybe miss something in the recipe. So this recipe is from Smitten Kitchen, and I will email you all the steps after this video. So I hope you can follow along with me as we make it for the first time. So I'm using blackberries today. I love blackberries, and they were also on sale at my grocery store, so that was exciting. If you want to use raspberries or strawberries, you should go do that for sure. Use whatever berry makes you happy. So we are going to put the blackberries in a bowl and squeeze some lemon on it. Again, if you have lime, if that's your thing, you should use lime. You should use whatever's in your house. Don't go crazy. I'm gonna kind of try to measure this out, but I'm not gonna be too precious about it. It's about 1.5 teaspoons. So the recipe that you will see makes 10 popsicles. As you can see here, I only have 6, so I'm cutting it in half. So instead of squeezing the whole half a lemon, I did about half of it, 1.5 teaspoons. Then I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon of honey. Honey is fun to squeeze out, not super fun to get out of the container. But I'm gonna mix it all up like this. And that does something called macerating the berries, which means the juice, natural juices come out, and it makes really just the berries taste more berry. So those berries are gonna hang out for a little bit while I prepare the second part. So this is Greek yogurt. It's about 1/3 cup, 1/4 cup of water, and 1/4 cup of sugar. So this is gonna make the creamy popsicle part. That's the real good part of this. So now we're over here at the stovetop where we're gonna make a simple syrup to whisk with the yogurt and make it extra delicious so that it freezes nice and easy in your freezer. We're gonna put 1/4 cup of sugar. I cut the lemon in half that we used before, so we're gonna plop that in there as well. And we have 1/4 cup of sugar as well. I'm gonna mix it together. And really, we wanna watch it so that the sugar dissolves and we see the sugar dissolve. So this usually will take about 5 minutes. My grocery store was out of regular sugar, so the sugar is golden. So here's hoping everything works. I'm a big proponent of using whatever you can find to make delicious food. You can see starting to simmer, and you can see the sugar starting to dissolve. Whoops. Words are hard. And I'm just gonna keep track for about 3 more minutes. Whoops, sorry. I want it to get that lemony flavor in there. Just want to make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. You can see it's starting to look a little more syrupy. Try not to get impatient. And I think that's just about ready. You don't want it to reduce too much. So I want to make sure that the lemon doesn't get too much into our delicious popsicle. So I'm going to use this little strainer. Oops, I'm actually just going to take this guy out. Oop. And pour this. I would say this is an optional step, but if you have a little strainer, I would go for it. So now we have the syrup. I'm going to put it in the fridge. So while the syrup is cooling in the fridge, we want it to be totally cold before we move to the next step. I'm gonna take our blackberries. You see how that nice juice, it smells really good, by the way. The honey and the lemon is delicious. And I'm gonna food process it up because I have a food processor. If you have a blender or if you don't have any of those, you probably could just really mush them up, frankly. But I have a food processor and my husband does the dishes, so I'm gonna use it. So we have this puree here. I feel like I'm gonna do it just a little bit longer. Just to get it super smooth. Sorry for the noise. And then we have this lovely blackberry jam. I'm gonna pour it back through here just to get some of the seeds out. If you don't care about seeds in your popsicles, you don't need to do this. You could also care and still skip it if you feel like it. mush it through like this if you want. I'm probably gonna lose patience with this and then also feel like I'm wasting food. So I might just take some of the seeds out, not all of them, but these blackberries were pretty seedy. So I'm gonna try for a smooth popsicle today. Okay, now that we have our blackberry puree, so to speak, our chilled simple syrup, and our yogurt here, we're gonna make the popsicle, which is the fun part, I think. So we're going to pour the syrup into the yogurt here and whisk it up so that it is a little smoother, a little creamier. You want it to look like one happy mixture. So just keep whisking until it comes together and looks very creamy. So I have some still left in here. I don't want any drop left behind. There's not that much sugar in these popsicles, so we want all of it to definitely get in here. So I'm gonna whisk it up again. And that's really what it looks like at the end. So we're going to pour a little bit of each into the molds. So I need some. Again, I'm aiming to fill about 5 of these since the original recipe called for 10 and I'm cutting it in half. So I'm gonna put a spoonful in each one. And I'm not gonna fill everything all the way up because when things freeze, they expand. So I'm just gonna put 1 spoonful in these 5. And I'll do the same for the blackberry mixture. And then we alternate. Yogurt berry, yogurt berry. They're already starting to fill up a little bit, if you can see that. If I was going to be really intense about this, I would measure it out with a scale. But it's summertime, and I'm not going to be really intense about it. Popsicles are chill. I'm chill. I'm not actually chill. But popsicles are definitely chill. I'm making a little bit of a mess, but it's okay. I'm gonna put a little less and then top it up with the berry. And then at the end, to make them as pretty as possible, we're gonna swirl everything around. So that last bit there goes in there. Gonna try to get all of it out. Really hate wasting little bits at the end. And then just top it off with your last berry. There's still some seeds in here. I didn't succeed in taking all of them out, but I think we're all gonna live. I hum a lot while I'm cooking. Usually I listen to music while I do this, so I hope, oops, I'm also making a mess. That's what you guys are doing. So I'm just gonna clean off the tops here. Then I'm gonna just mix them around because I want a pretty swirl and I don't want them to separate in the freezer. So I'll make a little bit of a swirl with just a knife or whatever you have. Most people have knives. There we go. So now is the hard part, in which we wait 3 to 4 hours. So they're pretty cute. They just, whoops, snap on there. Like that. And then I'm gonna make sure they're level in the freezer so that everything comes out right in 3 to 4 hours. So I'm excited to see what they'll look like. I hope you guys will send me a picture if you've made these. Looking forward to seeing them.